Because you have a lot of bad stuff happen. You know what I'm saying? Prostitution, the whole nine,
And
drug dealing,
drugs,
bada bing,
yeah.
bada boom.
Yeah.
Man, I was in South Carolina, and I stopped at this Motel 6, Motel 8, Super 8, I think is what it's called. Whatever, it's yellow and red. I remember the sign was like yellow and red. It had I think it was Super 8. Man, I go into the little office, and it's like 1:30 in the morning. Go into the office to get, you go through the little door to get the room. And there's a bulletproof glass. And I'm like, and then I walk in, I'm like, yeah, I probably need to get another place to stay. But I was so tired, man. I was like, look, give me a room and give me a room quick. And he's like, you paying cash or credit? I'm going to pick cash. And as I'm there pulling the cash out of my pocket, I realized there's a guy to my left at the little coffee machine. Like, in a little coffee pot. And I'm looking at him, his eyes darting to the guy at the coffee pot and looking at me. And I had about $1,000 cash. So I pull it out, all hundreds, and I give him $100 bill. And the guy's looking at me, looking at the money. And I'm just tired, man. I'm so freaking tired that the bad side of me comes out. And I'm like, look, I said, I see you looking at my money, bro. I said, but if you plan on getting this money, one of us is going to die tonight. I'm going to go to sleep. I said, if you need something, ask for it. Don't try and rob me. And the dude looks. He's like, what? I said, if you need something, ask for it. I said, but don't try and rob me. I said, because I'm tired, man. I'm going to shoot you. You know what I'm saying? And so I get my key. I go to the room. I go to bed. The next morning, the guy's out there, and he's playing around in his car. And he was like, man, you said if I need something, ask you. I was like, what you need? Man, I really need some gas money. I need $50. I said, here go $50. Take your gas and go. He's like, how did you know I was planning on robbing you? I said, you was planning on robbing me? And he's like, yeah. I said, you was planning on getting shot, bro. I said, because I was tired and I was in a bad mood. And I said, I already was, my senses was already heightened because I was tired. I was just like, man, I just want to get in the room. Whatever's going to happen, it's going to happen. I'm going to get me some sleep. But, you really got to be careful in those kind of situations. So I say all that to say I know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh, yeah. There was another situation. Me and my sons we went on a motorcycle road trip because they ride too. And actually, it was in Las Vegas, actually. We stopped at I think, Motel 6, actually. And, all of a sudden I heard all these noises, people talking. And I look out the window and they're sitting on my bike. Now, one thing you don't do, you don't sit on somebody's motorcycle.
No.
And so I immediately walk out there, and, the next thing I know is they're kind of like threatening to kill me. And I tell you, I mean, it was a situation we're probably the worst situation I ever had riding a motorcycle. I mean, there was a bunch of them. They could hardly speak English, number one. And, but when they used the word kill, I mean, he started thinking, because I told him nicely, I said, I made the mistake. I said, if you don't get off my bike, I'm going to beat that out of you. Okay, because you don't sit on somebody's motorcycle. It's just, you don't do it. I mean, it's like if I got inside your car, and sat in it, So, then the police came, and then the police didn't really want to do anything, other than they moved us to a different side of the motel. So, I don't know.
Man, that's one thing you know about anybody's motorbike. You don't even touch the motorbike. You don't know where near it. I mean, you leave it where it is. That's their personal thing. That's just an unwritten rule.
I have some friends, actually. If you went and sat on their bike, either you're going to get beat up, or what the other option is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna be on the highway to heaven.
Yeah.
But that's the problem with groups of people. I've always found that one person, it's hard for a person alone to be brave and talk trash. You get 3 or 4 of them, I mean, they really are brave, man. They do things that they wouldn't normally do.
No, they talk themselves into it.
Yeah, they're really, really bold when there's more than one of them. Yeah. And that's the thing. I could tell you so many crazy stories like that, man. From just that's insane. I think the worst situation I've ever been in, and this was horrible, was in Miami, 2003, 2003. Yeah, it had to be 2003. I was in Miami, and a close friend of mine, his girlfriend was a Heat dancer for the Miami Heat, the basketball team. And so we go down there, and we all hanging out, and this is before I knew what Zopound was, gang Zopound. I didn't know what the hell it was.
Uh-huh.
And we go to this nightclub. And so I'm from New Orleans. There's no gangs in New Orleans. New Orleans is pretty much every man for himself. Now, there's cliques where, there's a group of people who know each other, and there may be a clique or, somebody from uptown, New Orleans East, mid-city. There's cliques, and you kind of know this clique and that clique, but there's no official gang. And so we're all hanging out, and this woman is, when I say she's gorgeous, she's drop dead gorgeous, and her thing is, I'm hooking you up with my girl. So I'm like, okay, cool. We all hanging out. Bada bing, bada boom. We go to eat, and there's this little Cuban sandwich place. Yeah, I can't even remember the name of it. But we go to the sandwich place. It's late. It's pretty late. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning. And they're eating, and these guys walk in, and about 6 of them. And the first thing they do is start being disrespectful. I mean, now, I'm talking about from the minute they walk in the door. And I don't even know this chick. I just met her. But as a man, you don't want anyone to disrespect you. And I mean, the minute they walk in the door, they start being disrespectful. And then they calling them bees and this and that, and it's just going crazy. And after the third B word, I'm like, yo, you need to, like, calm down with all that, man. Like, you're being disrespectful, because I'm from New Orleans. Like, if one thing about a man from New Orleans, you know that we're gentlemen. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just don't play all that. You ain't gonna beat no woman. You ain't doing none of that crazy stuff around us. We're gentlemen. I'm like, yo, you gonna chill out. And he's like, I'm Zopound. You know what Zopound is? I'm like, I don't know what Zopound is. I didn't realize that was the Haitian drug gang. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know that that's what that was. And my partner clearly knew what it was. It's because I'm looking at him, and he's afraid. And I'm like, there's 6 of y'all. I've studied Aikido my whole life. And 6 dudes. I mean, 4 of y'all going to get it pretty bad. The other 2, man, I'm like, bro, if you can handle 2, at least handle 1, we'll be all right. So the chick I'm with, she was like, well, we just need to leave. We need to leave. And I'm like, look, I'm eating my food. I'm going to leave when I get to eating my food. So they order their food, and they just talking. So they start talking in Creole, which I don't understand Creole. But the chick I'm with understands Creole. She's like, well, they talking about shooting you. I'm like, shooting me? I'm like, whatever. I ain't about to shoot nobody around here. I finish eating my sandwich. We get up, and we leave. Now, everybody else done scarfed their food down, like stuffed it in their mouth. I'm, like, literally eating like I'm taking my time.
Uh-huh.
We get up, and we leave, and when we get outside, one of them follows us out. Not all of them. One of them follows us. The other ones are inside. And when he follows us out, he starts talking in English. And I've always been a pretty big guy. Even now I'm overweight, but I used to bodybuild, so I'm pretty big, but I just got a little fat on me, right? But I'm clearly not the guy that you want to tussle with. And so he walks out, and he happens to be the smallest, skinniest one. And he's like, I'll F you up. I'll F you up. And I start laughing because it's funny to me, because I'm like, this dude don't even know what he's talking about. The most he could do, is kind of punch at me and swing at me. So I'm like, whatever, man, I hear you, but we get ready to go. I got a beautiful woman with me. I'm like, I got this with me. You hanging out with a bunch of dudes. I'm not finna get into nothing with you, bro. I'm going to go handle this. And that's what I'm saying. I'm going to handle this with her. And she's like, come on, let's go, blah, 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 blah. Man, and I never do this. Ever, ever, ever. Normally, I would face the person and back away, but she pulls me, which forces me to turn my back to this dude. And when I turn my back to him, I already know he's coming up behind me. I can feel, how you can feel it when someone's coming up on you?
Certainly feel that, yeah.
You can feel it. Man, I turn around, this dude has a knife. Not a blade, a knife. I mean a knife, like long knife. This knife has to be about 6 inches. And he's got it above his head coming down at me. And anybody who's trained in martial arts, really trained, they'll tell you when you react, you don't know what you're going to do. Like, it's not like you turn around and say, oh, I'm going to block the knife and turn around and stab it in his back. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what's going to happen because you train so long just to react. And all I remember seeing that knife over my shoulder and turning around, and the next thing you know, this guy was through a window. Like he was just through a window. Because for that few seconds I blacked out. I guess I just reacted. And when I kind of got my senses, he's through a window, and I see the rest of them coming out. And I was like, okay, this is one of those situations where you run to the car and drive off.
Oh, yeah.
So we ran to the car, hopped in, and drove off. And actually, I had to make amends with that gang. It took about a year to make amends with them. I literally had to make amends with them because they were threatening my friends. So I had to go back and have a sit down and make amends with them. And the guy that I actually sat down with was very sensible. You know, when we talked about it, he was like, I heard about what happened. And he was like, and he's an older guy. This guy wasn't young. He was older. And he was like 10 years older than me. And he was like, you know, that wasn't called for. That was disrespectful. And we understand you defended yourself, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's good.
And then, yeah, a couple of them came to New Orleans and we hung out. And so I'm pretty cool with a couple of them now, the old heads. I don't know none of the young guys that's there now, but the old ones, a bunch of them are in prison now, but one or two of them that aren't, I'm pretty cool with them.
Well, hey, we're actually a couple minutes over. We're done for tonight. But I tell you, would you like to come back on the show again, maybe in a month or so, and do some more talking?
Yeah, man, I love talking. It's been cool, man. I appreciate it. I would love to come back.
Okay. Hey, well, I'm going to let you go. I really enjoyed having you on the show. It was a breath of fresh air tonight, so I rather enjoyed having you on.
All right, thanks, buddy. Well, I will talk to you soon.
Okay, sir. You take care.
All right, bye-bye.
Do you have a paranormal story that you want heard? You could be a guest on Night Dreams. Contact us at motorcycletalkbygary@gmail.com. Check out Night Dreams Talk Radio on the web at www.nightdreamstalkradio.com.
Our intro music is provided by Kevin MacLeod at Incompetech.com.
If you would like to hear Night Dreams Talk Radio on your local radio station, let them know. Tell them to check out www.nightdreamstalkradio.com. And thank you